Hello there, my friends. Once again, Alcon Raycon. This time, we're talking about Trinidad and Tobago's football. Of course, you'd realize that somebody who will have spent so much time on the game of football over the past 40 or 50 years would want to see the game continue and improve as much as possible. Unfortunately, that was not the case over the last decade, and it has deteriorated, whether it was commercially, whether it was technically, whatever it was. The standard of play just did not cope as well as we expected when you compare it with a number of years ago where the good teams were, and we were challenging for almost every trophy in the Caribbean and in the CONCACAF. Now, let me start by saying, yes, a report was made to FIFA. I expect that it was made to the outgoing officials, that's Mr. David John Williams. So therefore, the FIFA had something to deal with. FIFA's policy has been, we are going to take care of our family associations. We want to be able to first to see what's wrong, to see if we can deal with it. FIFA does not want anybody to go to court. If you did not have something to do, would you have gone to court? No, you wouldn't. You are guilty of a number of things. The Ttfa has that to prove. $50 million is not a little bit of money, especially when you're getting 750,000 US from FIFA every year. And you get a subvention from the government as well. Where did it go? So I'm not into the confusing business. I'm saying, go to FIFA. You went to them. They've sent a normalization committee here. Ask them to try to find out the details and where did this money go. And it was not only that. If you think that's the only problem, I have news for you. Because there are a number of clubs in this country who are really not, they're not clubs, they're teams. How many of them don't pay their registrations? It is not exactly what is appearing at this stage. There are a number of issues to be dealt with. You've got to strengthen the leagues, the Northern League, the Eastern League, the Central League. You've got to strengthen those leagues. You must remember that the Pro League came into football at the highest level with teams that have never won a trophy in Trinidad and Tobago in their lives. There was no Malvern and Colts and Shamrock and Maple and whatever have you. These guys were just full of money, and the task of going into the professional ranks was brought by some of the players who went to the World Cup in 2006. Or is that something that is going to make you professionals in Trinidad and Tobago? That was our first mistake. And that was one of the places where the most money was spent. We need to understand that before we go in to correct this problem, one is we've got to get help from FIFA. And I say help from FIFA because I'm pretty sure that FIFA does not want to throw out anybody. FIFA wants to help, but if you're not prepared to help and you want to be wrong and strong, then it's another picture. Why couldn't there be some form of dialogue? Why can't you say, listen, we've made mistakes. These are some of them. We would like you to tell us where we went for these mistakes. How could we rectify them? How could you help us? That's what FIFA would want. We are not the only country that have faced problems like this. But we're acting like children, and everybody's just swinging from side to side to saying this, that, and the other, when in truth, in fact, we have nothing on which to fight with. FIFA can help us. FIFA would like to help us, I'm sure. Okay, I'm admitting that there may be a few political things in between that could make us believe that FIFA too is partly representing something into this problem. I don't have the evidence for it, but I rather suspect it. The point about it is, let it be open, let it be discussed. And then, when the solution comes by, we'd reorganize it. What's so difficult in that? We are guilty. All we've got to do is say, listen, we are sorry. We are a new committee. We want to be guided. We want to do better than them. We need your help. Don't fight with them. You cannot fight with an organization that's paying you $750,000 US a year. Is that a deal? Is it good enough to get you on the road again? No, it's not. You've got to look at it and treat it logically. I would hate to see the government get involved in it because FIFA does not want that either. They want some dialogue. They want to say, how can I help you? And go in the direction. Okay, there may be some very unfortunate things that put us into that sort of situation and we are feeling embarrassed. $50 million, who wouldn't feel embarrassed? But the point about it is that if we do not fall in line and we do not approach FIFA to assist you in what is going to happen, then it's going to be a more complex type of situation facing you. Please, in the interest of football, the last thing I would want to see is that there's no football in this country. What about the thousands of youths who are looking around and hearing about Manchester United, this one, that one, the other one, and some of our own players playing and getting recognition outside, but they can't play because they are not attached to FIFA? Aren't we ashamed of that? Aren't we hurt or disappointed? Or maybe it's because all my life has been into football. That's not what it is. I don't have anything to gain at this point. But I still want to see it go. I wish it gets better than we did. But you cannot do it when you are not trying to deal with a situation which you are compelled to try to correct. So let's get on with it. We've got a few days. We don't have a lot of time. And treat this as though, I'm sorry, I would like your help, FIFA. That is what is needed. I'm not a lawyer. I'm not going to go fishing all over the place or you did this, that, and no, I'm not that. I am, you're wrong, go to them. They are the people who said, if you run wrong anytime, come to them, go to them. Hear what they have to say. And then they will be a little bit lenient with whatever you tell them. I'm waiting and I'm looking. I watch these kids. I have kids working for a long time, small kids from 6 to whatever. Are they going to miss this? I doubt it. Think about it, my friends, and don't let this catastrophe happen and put football out of our sporting range. It's not going to be good for the game. It's not going to be good for the country.